Right. All right, welcome back to Nurture Life Resource and another spotlight interview. Tonight, I am so honored to introduce you guys to my beautiful firstborn, my baby girl, who's not so much of a baby anymore, Miss Saida Nicholas. And so, just a quick background how she got to be spotlighted in this format. um, I've been hosting a mastermind for the entire year, and I would say about halfway through, Saida was so inspired and a little jelly about not being a part of the space because we were making some amazing transformations and having a lot of fun. And she decided to join in the mastermind as a youth entrepreneur. And so, if you don't know, I cultivate mixed stage learning spaces. And so, young people are always welcome in the space to learn and grow with us because we're all alike, right? We're all human. We're all children at heart. So it's been beautiful to have her. We are going to dive into her experience and highlight her growth and transformation. So I'm going to read her bio and then we'll get going. So, as a surprisingly wise and articulate young lady, Saida has wanted to be an educator like her mom since she was a small child. While she has other aspirations, such as singing, dancing, and owning businesses, teaching the arts is really what's calling her now. Since becoming a big sister in 2022, Saida has sought out interests that she can enjoy beyond her new responsibilities within her home. In 2023, Saida successfully facilitated a fun, family friendly learning space through her origami club. After realizing at just 8 years old that she could do something that big, Saida aspires to cultivate her business of clubs for children and their families to learn, grow, and connect more deeply. Yay! Hi, Saida. Thank you for being here.
Hey,
How are you today?
I'm good.
Awesome. Well, we are really excited to have you. Like all the other spotlight interviews of which you have gotten to observe, we're just going to have a fun, candid conversation, and your brother's going to be counting down in the background. So we're just going to let that be a part of the experience. And so let's jump in. This is interesting because like everybody else, I have to ask, how do we know each other? We always start off with that just connecting question, which allows us to describe how we know each other and how we came to this point of doing this interview. So I will let you lead and share, how do you know me? Who are you? Who am I to you?
uh, well, I came out of you, and like we automatically had a connection, mother daughter thing. But meeting someone is different than knowing someone, and I think because like you took the time to like really cultivate our relationship and like just pivot and like cater to me. Like we were able to teach each other new things, learn new things about each other. Cause like if you were at work and I was at school, we'd be like strangers who live in the same house. Like that's how it usually is with most kids my age. But like I'm just really thankful that you took the time to really cultivate us and like now like we can roast each other without getting mad. And like also we don't have as many things to be stressed about, so we're not as annoying, I guess. Like you don't have to be stressed about your boss at work, and I don't have to worry about stupid things at school like people. you know but I'm just really glad you took care of me all this time, and I'm proud of you that you were able to um, turn the clock over so that I can have a little playmate by my side when you need to do a few things. But we know each other because I came out of you and because you love me and I love
Thank you for that. That was really beautiful. I'm trying to help your brother to feel independent right now and listening to his show, but he wants to be a part of our conversation because he's like, I'm here now. So this is really what life is like for us. Um, so let me ask you this. Having a little
you. I'm not loving.
having a little brother slash playmate, excuse me, y'all. Just mothering don't stop. He don't care that I look cute and that I'm on camera and working right now. He
At
just,
least you have the name thing to block out anything that
you
people might
know,
see.
came in clutch, right? Okay, so um, first of all, your response was beautiful. Okay, I again feel very humbled to have this opportunity to spotlight you, but also just talk to you, person to person in a public way, which is unique to how we normally do things. So you had mentioned that I've cultivated a relationship with you. Just tell us a little bit about that. What is it like to be in relationship with your mom, and then also, you know, see the things that I'm doing, feel proud of what I'm working on, and want to be a part of that as well? Because most kids, they don't really want to spend that
They're
much
like,
more
I
time
just
with
want
their
to play
parents.
video games and use the most of my weekends. I don't want to talk to you. I'm just going to eat all the food and do my own thing. And you can just do your own thing. And we're just going to go our separate ways, you know?
Yeah, kind of like coexisting without actually cultivating a true relationship. And kids are like, I don't really want to spend more time with my mom or my dad than I actually have to. So just talk a little bit about what it's like to cultivate a relationship. You mentioned being able to roast each other, things like that, but what is it like for real? Because I'm not that easy to deal with, to be honest.
I'm going to be honest as well. You are. Yeah. It's just beautiful having a relationship with you because like you're funny. You're like great grandma, except like more fun, like more energetic. And it's like, even like when I might get in trouble and we're like having a hard time, like I can just always trust that we're gonna be able to get through it. And like sometimes I say in my head, oh, she'll forget about it in 20 years. Nah, no, we're just gonna get through this in 3 days. It's okay. Yeah. But like, you're harder to deal with than most moms, but like you're not typical. You're like you make up for it, you know? Like instead of like a typical mom making up for it like getting you a gift, you like give me spiritual insights and one of your card decks and you show me a crystal and you give me a reading or something like that. Or like we could just have a nice talk and like kind of just laugh through the tears. But like on the other aspect of it, like you're just a really good mom. Like even for like a mom that maybe doesn't have a job, like you're just more fun because like God's always going to provide for us and therefore you don't have like as much stress, which like helps you to, gonna be honest, not be so mean like some other moms. And I'm really proud that you're trying to help more moms be more like you. And not that you're perfect or anything, but kind of better thing. Yeah, but I also have this analogy like, um, if you teach one person another thing, they're like gonna pass it on. It's like human nature to pass something on.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're like breaking these generational patterns, and I'm proud that you've actually been able to like make a change, like even if it was just with three moms, that's 0.1% of the population. You did something. So
I
yeah.
love it. Thank you so much. So, first of all, this is my wing lady right here. This is my height girl. So I didn't say it, she did. And if it's coming from her, then it means a bit more to me coming from you. That you notice the difference between my mothering style and other mothers in the world. And I really appreciate you always acknowledging the work that I'm doing. Um, I know that making the hard decision to not work outside of the home was the easiest decision I could have made
Yeah.
for us
And
in our
probably like the
relationship.
best.
Yeah. I say often that, you know, non-melanated moms get to opt out of the workforce to take care of their kids because they generally have, you know, a huge savings or they have a second income, they have a huge support system, they have other mom friends that are financially supportive. And so it makes it easier for them to make the decision to focus on their child's developmental years and have, that good 10-15 year run of just having kids and raising them, and then they get back into the workforce. And so,
And they might
having
just
that,
have to get an excuse to stay out the workforce.
well, I mean, they understand the value of being present for their kids in that time frame, and other demographics of moms don't, even if they understand that, don't necessarily feel like they have a choice. So I appreciate you acknowledging the sacrifices that I've made to be with you so that we can cultivate a relationship and you can see all the things that I'm doing. You are deeply intertwined with the work that I am embarking on. And for you to be proud of me and for you to be glad that I am passing on um, the knowledge and expertise that I have to other moms makes me feel like I'm on the right track,
Yeah.
because there are plenty of young girls that don't rock with their moms like that. They're like, we watched that show, The Power, and she's like, "Oh, my mom's a fraud. My mom's not here for me for real." She wasn't too keen on that. Is Saida? You see your sister looking so pretty with you and mom? Yes. Okay, so Saida and mom, and then there's Emmanuel. All right. So let's dive into some of these more specific questions to spotlight your experience in our mastermind and in our coaching program. So we're going to dive into life before you started the mastermind. What was it like?
Mute. You're on mute. Sorry.
Thank
You and
you.
my
Amen
sister.
to that. Yeah. What was it like before joining the mastermind program?
Uh, so when you say like what was it like just like full on, or like was it the environment and like my productivity?
You can go any direction you like.
Okay. Well, before I totally dive into it, I've gotten way better with my business ever since I joined the mastermind. But when I first, well, like before I came in and I was like hearing all these nice stories, like you said, I was a little bit jelly that I like wasn't a part of everything you do because, after you pivot to take care of your kid, they're like, no, I'm going to stay here with you forever. Yeah. But it was a bit overwhelming in the aspect of like having to help my grandma all the time. And uh, when I joined the mastermind, like I was definitely able to like pivot and like gain more confidence in my business and other things. But like like I said, I was like really overwhelmed with a lot of things to do, and like I still found the time to like clean up the whole kitchen and living room and other living room and other stuff. Yeah,
So,
but
so it sounds like before joining the program, most of what you focused on were household chores and the family dynamic that was unfolding right
yeah.
before. Do you feel like we spent quality time together focused on your dreams and visions before starting the mastermind?
Um, well, I can't even say like we were like doing it together because I really wasn't even focused on it too much because I had to tend to like other things. But like when you found the time, you would help me, like you helped me create the email and the business card and other things. And I'm really thankful. I haven't gotten too far with that other business yet, but yeah, when you found the time, you were able to help me with certain things.
Okay, so it was more like smaller things, small steps that kind of laid the foundation, but we didn't really focus on it
You're right, right.
so much. Okay, so what specific challenges do you think you were facing before we started having mastermind sessions together?
Well, before I came on the mastermind, I was just feeling like I was really slow and like I still wasn't doing enough. So like I still had that imposter syndrome, like um maybe I just shouldn't. I'm not old enough. That isn't typical. I don't want to be different. But like ever since I joined the mastermind, I've totally been able to like take that imposter syndrome and like put it in the recycle bin and like turn it in, like generate it into confidence and self-esteem. Yeah. So,
That's awesome. So the challenges that I heard were um, really just around your identity as an entrepreneur.
yeah.
And most of those challenges were around being able to accomplish a big goal like running a business at your age, at, not having certain tools, resources, skill sets, just feeling like, what am I doing? Right? I'm 8. I'm 9. What am I doing trying to run a
Right.
business? Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did um those challenges in any way impact your daily life or relationships with family members or even with this business idea that you had? How was it impacted by that belief?
Yeah, I was dealing with a lot of like anxiety and like being very overwhelmed. I was starting to get like really angry, like with the amount of times that my name was being called, and like I wanted to focus on it, but I just felt like I couldn't, and it really impacted like my mood and emotions until the point where like I was having a breakdown. It was crazy.
Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate your honesty and your vulnerability in that regard. I do want to talk about that kind of breaking point for you. Um, so you mentioned, these family dynamics, these chores that you have. You have two grandmas, your grandma, your great grandma, which I do my best to help you operate from a space of gratitude and understanding about their needs and about how things are when you're in an intergenerational household.
Yeah.
But you were really feeling the pressure and the overwhelm and the stress of me calling your name to help me with things regarding your brother, your grandma, who was really in the throes of her cancer treatment, and your great grandma, who in her own way needed to be cared for as she was caring for your grandma.
Yeah.
And so you were getting it from every angle. You were
Yeah.
hearing your name 15 times from me, about 25 times from your grandma, and about another 15 or 20 from your great grandma, right? And so what I remember about that time frame is that you were used to being free to explore your interests and to do the things that you liked before little brother came in, before your grandma got sick, before your great grandma came to help. And we weren't living with this particular family dynamic. So it was really new for you to have to deal with all of that pressure coming from
Yeah.
not dealing with it so much at all.
Yeah.
And so I want you to kind of talk to me about that, that transition that you went through, and um the breakdown and then the breakthrough. So just kind of talk us through that experience.
Yeah. So like while I was like dealing with my grandma and like little brother and pretty much everyone, even myself, like I said, it was really overwhelming, and like I just had to wait until they all went upstairs to just like get it out, you know? And I feel like after like you came down and like you talked me through it, I was definitely able to like set more boundaries regarding like my time and energy. And like I don't know if this is like an experience for everyone, but like for me, when I gain confidence in one thing, like I gain confidence in like everything. So like you helped me gain confidence and like setting boundaries around my time and energy, and I was able to gain confidence around my business and like what I really wanted to do, because like I didn't, to be honest, I didn't know what I was doing. Like I was just doing and didn't know what. So yeah,
Yeah.
but I was definitely able to like find a way around that like wall of imposter syndrome, and not necessarily like taking it down brick by brick, but kind of just like smashing through it and getting into like the next level of confidence and momentum, you know?
That is so beautiful. I appreciate you sharing. If you don't mind, I will share my experience of the breakdown and how we got through it. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So, you're getting some love from the chat about how articulate and well spoken you are, describing that experience. And so for me, as your mom, yes, adding to the pressure of this new family dynamic with a baby in the picture, which is new for us. You had a good 8 years of me all to yourself. Anything I called you for was directly related to you. Anything that I called you for was directly related to me. But now we transitioned from it just being the two of us to now there being a whole nother person who requires a lot of time and attention. And so I'm, acknowledging the amount of pressure that I placed on you by having another baby. And then to add to the fact that we were not living with your grandma and not, really much spending much time with your great grandma as well, to add all of those things to the mix was like just just a
All of a
recipe
sudden,
for
kinda.
explosion. Huh?
Like all of a sudden, kind of. It's like, oh, I
Yeah,
was doing
it
great
was.
with brother and mom, and now there's grandma, and then here comes another grandma, and then here comes me, and then here comes
Yeah.
work for mom, and then here comes new needs for the baby.
Yeah. It was definitely a lot. And um even though I had had another baby, there was this drive now to work my business and to like really focus on supporting other people. So when you mentioned like finding the time, it really was like that. It was like, okay, I gotta find the time now to accomplish all of these things. And, stuff just priorities just got rearranged a little bit so that I could accomplish more. And so, from my experience, when I came across you having your moment, this moment of shattering, of like breaking down and not being able to deal with it at all. It's like if I hear my name one more time, I'm gonna break something. Like, and if I don't break something, I'm gonna break. That's what I saw when I, came down to you having that experience. And immediately something in me was like, okay, yeah, hold up. All things gotta be put on pause, and I have to place a fortress around you so that you can have your freedom to break down, to cry, to be angry, to fully express how you were feeling so I could fully understand what was actually happening and then set some parameters and guardrails around you as your mother and your primary protector. And so um us talking it through, there's a lot of tears for me. There was a lot of listening. There was a lot of holding you and letting you know that I'm with you and that I understand how you're feeling because I'm a firstborn daughter, and we end up being parentified and adultified in our households, you know, because that's just how family dynamics sometimes play out. And because I understood that it was my responsibility to protect you and to protect your mind and your heart from feeling that pressure consistently because that type of pressure is a lot. Um, and so, we pulled out all the stops to create a safe space for you spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, and set those healthy boundaries for you physically. And I will say, and then you can chime in, but I will say that the other adults in this space did not take to that too well. And it took them a little while to really adjust and understand what was happening and what changes were being requested and demanded in a lot of ways. Um, you know, they were just like, what do you mean we can't call Saida to do this, million item task list, right? I was like, yeah, no, you're gonna ask me. You're gonna leave Saida to be a child and you're gonna ask me. Um, and so, you know, that was that was a transition for everyone to kind of rearrange the responsibilities and the roles that we were getting comfortable with or they were getting comfortable with. What are we seeing? Oh, there's the list. That's how long the list was. Yes. And we both were standing there like, what? Thank you for showing us that. So you can fill in any blanks that you feel like are necessary, but my next question is what made you decide that it was time to, request admission into the mastermind?
Well, I knew I could do it because I had my own money first. That's firstly. And secondly, like everybody, like you were just telling all these stories about like how everyone is getting so much better and like really being able to break through some things that they'd been holding on to for a long time. And I was secretly like, tell me more. Let me in. So, yeah, I just really wanted to like experience like the breakthroughs, the momentum, the progress that everybody else was. And it's like, not saying that like age doesn't matter at all, but like a person is a person. A person can be experiencing something at any age, and a person can break through it at any age. And like that realization also like helped me get rid of my imposter syndrome, with the aspect of like, you can do anything. Like, I don't need a Barbie to tell me that. Like, I only have one Barbie and I don't even play with her. So yeah, it's just really nice to be in be in the mastermind as well, because I remember I started out like just coloring and listening, and now I'm working and listening and talking and playing in the games and other things like that. So
Yeah, so you was lingering around the mastermind for a little while. You were sitting in the room sometimes, like you say, coloring or just being present with your brother, or, kind of
playing
passing by
games.
the room and hearing the amazing conversations that were unfolding and, kind of hearing me in my element in a lot of ways. And then when I finish with Mastermind, I'm always like really pumped up. I'm really excited. I'm like really proud of people. Even the challenging, intense conversations, they were really like intriguing for you to kind of
Yeah.
observe that. And I appreciate you sharing that you personally felt like, well, listen, I'm human, they human. They have challenges, I have challenges. If they can break through, then I can break through. And that is something I really truly pride myself on, is creating spaces where young people feel equivalent to adults,
Yeah.
because there's this misconception that children don't have the full range of emotions that adults do, that they don't understand things the way that adults do. And if it's one thing that I um, consistently do, is require you to come up to my level rather than dumbing things down for you to understand it, right? I've never spoken to you as if you don't understand something. I've always spoken at my level, let you ask questions, and let you come up in your vocabulary, in your understanding, in your personal self awareness, self identity. And so I am really proud of you for not feeling intimidated to say, well, it's a bunch of other adult entrepreneurs in this room. What makes me think that I should be a part of it? No, you were like, you know what? Actually, I think I can. And I love how you said, because I have my own money. So I'm paying like everybody else to be in here. So where's my seat? Send me my link. And if there's one thing you never let me forget, is to send you that link. She said, did you send the link yet? And it's one thing to be bossed around by your kids when you're in mommy mode, but to be bossed around in your house when you're the mastermind facilitator. And she's like, ma'am, it's 5:55 with my link. We're gonna be starting 5 minutes. And I'm like, yeesh, ugh, all right, just feeling the pressure of her not playing about that investment that she made in herself. She wanted to get every drip drop out of that investment and was not about to play with me at all. So I appreciate that as well.
Side note, Side note, I would have paid for the other seasons, but I used the rest of my money on your birthday. So I guess that was your payment. Your amazing chicken waffle cake.
Y'all see how she trying to finesse it, right? No, but she did make me an amazing chicken and waffle cake from scratch, all vegan, and she did use the rest of her investment money to make my special day special. So I decided to give her a pass. You know, don't say what you won't do for love, okay? Okay, so now we're gonna go into the coaching experience in Mastermind. Hold on, let me just get this noise maker away from him for a second. Okay, so you kind of dropped some hints about things that have happened in the Mastermind that have helped you to evolve and grow and, have a transformative experience. But can you describe in a nutshell what it's like to work with me in that capacity? So I'm already not easy to deal with as your mama, but now you get to work with me in a more professional capacity as a paying mastermind member, and then we still got to pass each other when mastermind is done. So describe what that experience was like for you. You're muted.
Sorry. It actually isn't that different from like just mommy daughter time, except there's a person who's been your friend for like 26 years. So I know I can trust them. So I ain't got nothing to worry about with Greg. But like you're just like a really good coach. Like to all people. Like if another kid came in here with like anxiety and depression problems, by the end of the year they'd be like jumping for joy for you. Like everyone is jumping for joy for you. And it's been like a really great experience, like how you facilitate the mastermind. It's not like some boring, okay, we're going to work on this today, and do you need anything before we get started? Because we're not trying to see you do the PP dance while we're talking, okay? um, but yeah, but I really like how you like add games and like still add the prerequisite needs that were like anything that we need to review, like what's been going on, like you care. And another and something about like most like meetings, I guess, is this like it's boring and gray and you're just talking about stats and boring stuff that not even the adults want to talk about. So like it's just I'm just really glad that you're like fun and everyone thinks you're fun. And I've really been able to like not only gain confidence but like just lighten up because you've been fun with everyone. So,
Yeah, I love that. I will definitely say that I have watched you kind of lighten up, right? From being in the mastermind. And I've also watched you take things a lot more seriously in a particular way, right? Um, I appreciate the compliment about me being fun. I don't tend to see myself as funny or fun because I'm very focused and serious about accomplishing the goals that I want to accomplish. But I also know from my years of working with young people and just my own energy, it's like, okay, we could be focused on it, but can we have fun while we doing it? Like I don't like doing things I don't want to do. So I never want for you guys to come into coaching um situation or a mastermind or any type of work with me and be like, oh, I don't really want to do this, but I have to because I paid for it, or I have to because she's gonna be looking for me. I want you to want to show up, and it sounds
yeah.
like you enjoyed the process, the daily or weekly process that we went through. So, um, what did you appreciate most about the coaching process within the mastermind? I heard games, I heard fun. What else would you say, if it's at all different? What did you appreciate the most?
I appreciated how like you give us like a chance. Like what's that thing you said earlier? Is like show me
Tell
sorry.
me,
Tell me, show
tell
me,
me,
let me
tell
grow
me,
me.
let me grow me.
Yeah. So I really like that aspect of you because like you like tell us what to do, you give us a chance, and like if we're late on it, like you're not just gonna sugarcoat it and say everything's fine. You're like you're gonna get on us, but like that really leaves room for improvement, like personally and professionally, because like you don't want to be like 3 weeks late for your paper and then you get fired from your job. Like, yeah. But I appreciated most that you give us a chance, and if we don't do it, you help us improve.
Thank you. I am like bubbling over with joy and pride, you know, in such a humble way to be able to have this conversation with you. You are surprisingly wise and articulate. Your bio did not lie. And I I'm just taken aback by how you're able to really understand, comprehend my questions, and really pull from a a source of like awareness about your experiences. So that's really awesome. Um, Now, don't get it twisted. Any kid is not necessarily welcome in the mastermind. They gotta be a certain caliber kid, because it is a serious space of transformation and growth. And I'm very proud to say that Saida fits that criteria perfectly of the exact type of kid. See, this kid is not welcome in the mastermind. Okay, you can't come. You're not welcome. You're gonna sit outside for the whole time. But Saida's welcome anytime. Okay, so how did um the framework that we put in place kind of resonate with you, and which of those components were most impactful on your journey? So the way I'm thinking about it is the framework. Oh, could you close the door? Sorry. Here I am calling her from down the hall to close the door that's right there. This is why she don't like hearing her name, because we be asking her for dumb stuff. Huh? Okay. Hopefully Emmanuel will play downstairs somewhere and let us complete this. Thank y'all for being patient with my baby while I talk to my other baby. Um, so I'll pause for a second so she can come back, and I'll kind of reframe the question for her. She's such a great big sister.
I'm a back, and he's a back. I thought he.
It's fine. It's okay. You can don't worry about it. Just turn the volume down on yours so that I'm not hearing myself in the
Okay,
hole. Okay, perfect.
is that better?
So, yeah, the question that I asked was, how did the framework resonate with you, and what specific components of it impacted you the most? And what I mean by framework is we had our pray framework at the beginning of every session, which was um, to pray, to reconnect, to affirm ourselves, and to do some yoga. So that was our pray framework. And then we did profound insights within our aim and adjust section, where we did profound insights, prerequisite needs, any things we needed to review or preview before we move forward. So, how did that setup for each session resonate with you? And was there anything specific that impacted you from what we were doing?
Wait, I'm just gonna go close the door because I don't want you to hear my echo.
Go ahead and answer.
Yeah. So like I liked how the framework, like I said, it was like fun. It's like, oh, games. People like games. She knows what people like, you know? And like with the prerequisite needs, it's like, oh, she cares. Like we're not just gonna jump right into it. Like, what if this person is parched and needs to go get water, and then they have to go downstairs and then miss the part of the meeting? Like you make time. I think my favorite part of the framework is that you make time and you make fun.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Was there anything that surprised you about being a part of the mastermind? Maybe um, about how I operated, or even for you? Like, was there anything that surprised you in that experience?
Mm, no, I know you well, so I know how you're gonna be. Like I know you don't really like from all years of like your so like you say you're like a recovering people pleaser. And as a recovered people pleaser, like I know you don't really care about your reputation or about what people like think about you anymore. Like I remember telling you one day, like, you're gonna rub someone off the wrong way. And, like, that's not your problem. Like, the people that resonate with you are going to resonate with you, and the people that don't aren't. So I really, like, appreciated how, like, you're you and you're gonna be you in all aspects of where you are and other things.
Thank you. Would you say that you picked up some of those things for yourself? So I love how affirming this is for me, and I'm grateful that we get to spotlight your experience. Um, and what I'm really wanting to do is kind of see how you were able to pick up from my modeling, things that you would want to add to your own toolkit as you continue to grow into a young woman and an older woman, and God willing, into a mother or a grandmother or a, a community, um, you know, member that offers great value. What would you say are some of the things that you have picked up in watching me do my work and watching me evolve and grow and challenge myself and release things and pick up new things along the way?
You don't hold grudges. I really like that about you. And I want to be like just like that. Like grudges aren't easy and they aren't fun. And I don't like not easy and not fun. Nobody likes not easy and not fun. So I really like that you don't hold grudges. And I'm really gonna like take that with me. Like if a customer like doesn't want or need my program at the moment, I'm not gonna like let them be my sworn nemesis forever. They just didn't want the program. There's gonna be someone else who wants the program. And another thing that I really want to like take on with me in my journey to like young womanhood is like really how you articulate yourself and like aren't really sorry for like how you talk or like how you are. Like you can make a mistake but you'll still like come clean about it. And I also want to take that with me. But you also like when you know that wasn't a mistake of what you said, like that's just how it is. Sorry. Not sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. And so the beautiful thing about our relationship is that I'm fully authentic and honest
Yeah.
in who I'm being and how I'm showing up. And so that means that I am not the mother who doesn't curse in front of her kids or, needs to put on this air of perfection to be seen as a good mom. I know I'm a good mom, even when my kids got to watch me cuss somebody out. And
Never like, go, mom. Where are you, my brother?
and I'm really glad that you see that as something empowering as opposed to embarrassing and disempowering.
Yeah.
Um, there are some young people who, they mamas is ratchet, they ghetto, they out here getting it on a regular, and they're like, oh my God, why she gotta be like that? Oh, mom, calm down. Like, why are you so, upset and aggressive and cussing people out all the time? So I'm glad that you're like, okay, no, because when my mom does something wrong or makes a mistake, she's accountable for it. And then she also knows that she's not about to take, ownership of other people's nonsense and BS and take that on because, recovering people pleaser, that's what I used to do. Oh no, it's not your fault, it's my fault. It's like, no, it's not my
Not
fault,
you. It's not you. It's
actually. Right. And now I'm like, no, it's not me, it's you. And so, that's empowering, because I never saw that growing up. I come from, you know, a lineage of women that stuff down how they truly feel about things. and didn't want to be seen a certain way. They needed to fit into respectability politics, and they needed to be the good girl. They needed to be
Yeah.
the good wife or the good mom. And I love that for them. I'm grateful that they raised me a certain way. And I also recognize the ways that those things were harmful and detrimental to their own well-being and to their own mental
Yeah.
and emotional capacity to be fully expressed and to be seen and to take up space and to be unapologetic about who they are and what they feel. And it's ironic that you say these things because in more public spaces, I can be, I don't want to say it like that. They gonna judge me if I say it like that, right? I don't want to, turn certain people off, or what if that, ruins my reputation? And so I do still struggle with that in a more, sorry,
Small
professional
win.
capacity. Yeah. But hearing you say that really does make me feel more empowered to use my authentic voice no matter where I am, and to be unapologetic about what I feel, what I think, and to let other people kind of deal with their feelings about how I show up in the world. So hearing it from you definitely makes me feel good. And I'm glad that you've noticed some things that you want to take with you. So that's beautiful. So the next question is, were there any aha moments or breakthroughs during our mastermind and our work together that really shifted your perspective? I know you talked a bit
Yes.
about
Right.
imposter syndrome and stuff, but yeah, dive into those aha moments and breakthroughs.
Before I joined the mastermind, like I said, you're funny. Greg. Before I joined the mastermind, like I said, I didn't know what I was doing. And we were just about to end like one of our sessions, and I was in the room, and like Greg said something that like it clicked for me. Like I knew what my business was at that moment. Yeah, you, yeah, yeah. I think like Greg said something like his daughter like made a bracelet, and I remember origami club, and I was like, I remember that like rainbow stars was always going to be like something like more than just one thing for kids and for fun stuff. And I didn't really know all what I was going to do. And until Greg said something about jewelry, I was like, origami club, jewelry club, more clubs. And that's rainbow stars. Like that was my first breakthrough. And then I had another breakthrough. Like that breakthrough was most definitely breaking through the imposter syndrome. So you had sent me like a course by James Whitmore, was it? Yeah. And I didn't finish it, and it went offline and we couldn't get it back. And I thought like I was a failure, that because I didn't finish it, that means like my business is going to be in ruin. And then I had a breakthrough. Like James said that my business is a reflection of me. And like you were tired that night, and I told you, you're like, how you treat the course is how you treat your business. And I was like, but what if how I treat me is how I treat the course, which is how I treat my business? And like just thinking of like everything that I was thinking regarding the imposter syndrome, like none of that was true. And I remember he said that doing something is either getting the result that you wanted or the lesson that you needed. And like that finally clicked for me. And like even though I didn't finish it, I was definitely able to get some like good gems out of there. And like just that night I was able to like those beliefs like aren't real. Like I am enough. I do have proof. I like ran a whole origami club when I was 8. Like how can I not be old enough? Like everyone loved it. And I was just really loving how I was able to love myself. And I feel like before that, I just, not that I didn't love myself, it's just I was like disregarding myself for other things. And like if you disregard yourself, and like he said, your business is a reflection of you. And if I'm disregarding myself, I'm disregarding my business. And that also means I'm disregarding the course. But now I can like fully like, instead of finding the time, like I can make the time now, if that makes sense. So that's
I
me.
love that. Thank you so much. So it sounds like the resources that you received in the mastermind, although from other creators and
Yeah.
we were able to digest it and do the work together, it really helped you to kind of connect those dots and to see yourself in a new light. Not only taking accountability for how you showed up, but also like owning a sense of self-worth and value that you may not necessarily have had before. Um, so I would like to highlight some specific aha moments or breakthroughs that you experienced in the mastermind, and they kind of surround um, constructive feedback. And so in our life together, sorry, okay. In our life together, you're not necessarily the most receptive to constructive feedback. Here you go. Hold on. Which one would you like? Like which one? I'm sorry. Hold on.
It's fun. For the parents in
Multi
the back, they all know.
for real, right? Multitasking. Okay. Come on, watch Groovy Baby or something. Um, give us some musical accompaniment to your disruption. Okay. So yeah, I was kind of highlighting your disdain for constructive feedback. And I remember in the mastermind a couple of times where we're working on stuff. Now you're here now, right? We homeschool or unschool, and you're required to do certain assignments that you don't always like doing. And when you do them, you don't always appreciate the feedback that you're getting because it doesn't feel good. And so that kind of transferred over into the mastermind because now we're doing the same kind of, accountability and, reviewing of your work and helping you to tweak things so that they can be better. But you were like, ugh, I do not like this. First of all, when other people are the center of attention, not happy. And when she has to put me in the hot seat and, give me constructive feedback on stuff, I'm not really enjoying this at all. But I do recall us like having conversations, immediately after the mastermind and you getting, that uh personalized coaching, being my daughter and living in the same house with me, which is like, listen, you're gonna have to suck it up. You're not about to sit here and be a part of the
Always
mastermind.
provide.
Yeah, kill the vibe because you're not happy about something. You gotta toughen up and you gotta get over that. Um, what speak to that a little bit because the fun stuff is the fun stuff, right? The enjoyable aspects of it, the good breakthroughs are awesome. But everyone that comes through my programs and the mastermind, especially, are like, oh wait, there's a moment where they're like, wait, I didn't sign up for this. What is this? Why do I have to feel like this, right? And so were there any breakthroughs or aha moments through the discomfort within the mastermind that you experienced?
Nobody likes a room with a killed vibe. uh, Okay, that wasn't necessarily a breakthrough, but that is also something I realized. And I didn't necessarily see like being sensitive to constructive feedback as being weak, but like if I'm not taking that constructive feedback, like I know you and I know you like things to be excellent, sometimes even perfect, if we're being honest. I mean, I know you're trying to let that go. You're still letting that go. But like I like when you are like kind of like giving me my licks and telling me like this is how it is and I'm not going to let you mess up my mastermind with your sensitivity to constructive feedback. And like I didn't really understand, well, not necessarily not understanding it, but like you said, I didn't really like it at first, but like when you think about it, like would you want someone else being like jealous of you or like not wanting to listen to you and just wanting the whole world to revolve around them? And side note, I got my experience from my grandma Arlene. So she's downstairs,
Yeah.
so I don't want to be too loud. Uh,
Listen, she name dropping, so she ain't that scared.
all right.
Okay. Was it, I'm sorry, was there anything else you wanted to add to that or no?
No, not really. I'm just really proud that you've been able to help me through like my sensitivity, and I'm like 30 or 40% less sensitive to feedback. Still getting better. Definitely getting closer to like just being able to accept. And it's like I know I think my version of whatever it is good, but I like to be in first place. And it can't just be good if you want to be in first place. So it's got to be excellent. And in order for it to be excellent, I can't do everything myself. Like, even if I was an adult, like, everybody needs help. And everybody just needs that little tweak that'll make it, like, persuasive or like, just really good, like, excellent. So, yeah.
I love it. She's having a flashback to one of her persuasive essays that I was like, and no, we gotta fix some stuff. And she's like, oh, mom, why can't you just say that it's amazing? Because I worked so hard on it. I just want great validation and positive feedback. I don't want to hear that I have to fix anything. Um,
Yeah.
but I really appreciate you being able to synthesize those different experiences, bring it all together, and gain the awareness and the lesson that even the greats have coaches, right?
Yeah.
Even the best basketball players still have to hear some coach telling them that your foot was not in the right place and that your form your form is out of pocket. You need to focus, right? What were you doing yesterday? Were you eating the wrong thing? Did you stretch? Did you sleep? Were you out partying? And they grown, they millionaires, they making, shots on the court, and they still have to hear that constructive feedback because if
Yeah.
you want to be, like you said, number one, then you have to be excellent. And you really take into that awareness and you're pivoting as necessary and growing through that. So um, you're learning to fail your way forward, which I think is one of the aha and breakthrough moments that Greg had. And you're starting to really understand and implement that as well. So that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to slowly transition into life after the mastermind. So we are just 2 weeks out from wrapping up our mastermind, and you've been with us. Would you say 3 months or 6 months? How long have you been with us?
Mm, did I come in quarter three? I
I
think I
think
came in
so.
quarter three, like at the
Yeah,
start of quarter three.
right. So
Yeah, so
six
that's
months, can you believe, has gone by so fast? Oh my gosh. Um, Really quick before we transition, were there specific tools, strategies, or resources that you got from our mastermind that's really been helping you, even outside of our work together?
I would say that like seeing everybody else's progress definitely motivates me. But like mostly like with personal help from you, I've definitely been able to propel my business and like hearing like just hearing other people's stories and seeing how great they're doing and it's like, "Oh, well, I'm a human, so I can do that too." But definitely more with the personal coaching. I've been able to collect little gems like even when we play Sudoku together, we're coming up with all these amazing quotes and writing them down.
Yeah. Yeah, you've definitely started to see um the teachable moment in the lesson in other things.
Right.
I will say that from my perspective, some of the things that have helped you with your personal growth and transformation that come from the mastermind, but also just come from my natural teaching style would be the declarations and the intention setting. So we do intention setting in our unschooling journey. And in the mastermind, we leveled it up and we started to declare and affirm what it is that we wanted to see. We declared particular outcomes and transformations that we wanted to see. We intended to meet certain milestones and accomplish certain goals that we had. And um, I would say that like one in particular that's standing out to me is like you requesting support with your digital skills. And between that moment of making the request and where you are now, can you tell us some of the digital skills that you've gained and things that you've checked off of your to-do list? I know you mentioned even today that, oh, I'm so proud of myself because these things are done and they happen to be digital. So tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll transition to life after
Yeah.
college.
So especially with digital skills, even like yesterday, we were just like cleaning up our drives and like you said that day that I quoted today, show me, let me I'm sorry.
Tell
I
me,
keep
show me. It's
tell me
okay.
show
Tell me,
okay, I
show
forget.
me.
I keep forgetting to
It's
tell. Sorry. But you said that yesterday and that really like was just like slow down. Like we're gonna get there. Like you don't have to be the runaway train that doesn't know where it's going. So back to digital skills, like I was learning that you can choose the type and like just organize from that section. I've definitely learned a lot of new things with like PayHip when I started my journey, maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. I'm not completely sure, but I've definitely learned a lot of gems in those aspects of things. I also learned that like age doesn't really matter when it comes to being an entrepreneur. Like PayHip wasn't like you
except
have to be
except when
18
it
to have
comes
a
to your
business.
except when it comes to your bank account.
Yeah,
We learned that one the hard way the other
yeah. I
day.
just gotta wait 3 more years so I can get a cash app. But yeah, you really helped me a lot with digital skills. I've um I've learned about like a lot of new resources and other things. I've learned like what I can do by just like exploring and like watching you make a lot, I mean, of websites and landing pages. I'm just really proud of like how much you've been able to help me and how much I've learned to help me in the aspects of my business and just personally.
Yeah, I love that. And I just want to kind of shift it again, which, is always a love sesh when we do these spotlight
Yeah.
interviews, right? Where we get to love on each other for the growth that we've experienced together because we have been locked in twice a week for the past 6 months, like really focused on hitting certain targets. So that's really beautiful. But I want you to see your growth as something that you committed to.
Yeah.
You decided to come to the mastermind. You saw what was possible for you and you made the decision. You invested in yourself. And outside of the monetary investment, you were committed to the process. You showed up. You made sure that you worked on things between sessions so that you could have, victory laps and you could show us your progress. And so when you say that you're proud of me being able to help you, I really want to hold the mirror up and let you say that to yourself, like, hey, Saida, I'm proud of you for helping me to get to this new level.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to pause and let you say that real quick, and then we'll move into our next segment, which we can try to speed up just a little
I'm gonna start looking this way. Okay. I'm really proud of you for helping me and for loving on me through all this time of hardship and breakthroughs and breakdowns so that I can be where I am today and so that I can be as productive and have as much momentum as I do right now. I love it.
bit. I love it. Great job. So beautiful. I'm very proud of you, and I'm really looking forward to the upcoming year because you have some amazing plans laid out for your business, and it's been beautiful to like cultivate the vision as you have really taken the time to focus on what you're doing. So it
Yeah.
looks like it might be. Do I need to pause for a second?
You can. I'm right here, but you can pause if you want to.
Okay.
I'm looking for my shield.
Okay. So the question I'll ask is, how has your life changed since being a part of the mastermind? Again, we're coming up to our graduation in the next couple of weeks, but how has your life changed, or how do you see your life changing after a mastermind?
Well, I've kind of been dropping hints about it like throughout this conversation. But if I'm gonna just like put it in the nutshell and not take another hour to explain the same thing, I've definitely gained confidence and self-esteem. I've overcame my imposter syndrome. I've gained way more momentum and productivity in my business. I've been able to totally lighten up and like just go with the flow. And I think I've become like a way better sister. Like when Iman's calling me, I don't have to sigh anymore because like I'm not tending to 3 million things at the same time. Like I'm happy to tend to him. Like I'm happy to watch a show with him. Like I have the time to watch a show with Iman now. Like it might just even be hoagie or ping pong, and I'll just be sitting there like he's so cute. I used to not have time to be like, oh, he's so cute. I have to be like, oh, grandma's so annoying.
Right, who's calling me now? Okay, I love that. So the boundaries have also like really helped you to have a better quality of
Yeah.
life and to enjoy things a lot more. So that's really
I just want
beautiful.
to add
And
one
thank
more
you for
thing.
recapping it too.
Yeah, I just want to add more thing. Um, I've been having like way more fun, like in my life on the mastermind. Yeah.
I
And it's
love
like
that.
when I just look back and see like I was coloring and now I have like a fully finished and refined website. I started out coloring and now I have all of this to show for it, you know?
Yeah. That must feel really good. I'm so
But I
happy for
was
you.
getting up to look at my shield
Oh yeah.
because um you were saying that I have lots of goals for 2025. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but just for here in my ambitions, like I want to like officially launch Rainbow Stars, come up with more clubs, like a book writing club. So instead of just like talking about books, like about writing books, because I'm currently writing a kids novel about five girls who fall out into an alternate universe and have to find their way back. Not spoiling anything, but it might come out in October 2025. So I wrote here, published my book, travel, but that would probably be more like on your side, but I'm definitely coming with you, you know. And I definitely want to get better at baking because I have messed up a few packs of muffins.
I love that. And yes, you're coming with me because traveling is learning. And where would I go without my babies, my little best friend?
Right.
Um, I'm really excited for all that you have coming up. And um, you're just an amazing young lady. So I already know that you have inspired adults and children alike. You have
Yeah.
inspired families to work together and grow together and to love on each other and challenge each other just from this conversation alone. And I can't wait to share you more with the world, but also protect you because you're my baby and I will hurt somebody for my kid.
Yeah.
So, I try to keep that cute because I don't want nobody, trying it. They don't want no beef with me. But we're gonna kind of wrap up now. He's counting again. We're gonna wrap up, and I want to ask you this: what would you say to someone who is considering joining one of my coaching programs, but might be a little hesitant?
You're going to get through it. It's going to be okay. You're going to have fun. And sometimes you're not going to have fun, but you're going to get through it. And you're going to be a better person when you get out.
So they should just do it. They should
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, you should do it. Like, just take it and make it. You're going to make it, and you should take it.
yes, they should take me up on that offer. You heard it here first, or for the fourth or fifth time, right? Because everybody has said it in their own way.
Yeah.
But can you describe a specific moment when you realized that this was actually making a tangible difference in your life and in your productivity or in just your overall quality of life? When did you notice, like, oh, snap, this is really working?
Yeah. I think, I don't remember the exact date, of course, but just one day I was like just remembering my experience of like before, not before the mastermind, but just like early 2024. And I was like, wait, grandma didn't just call me. And like another day, way more recent, I was just like looking at my third landing page for Sublime Design Club, my art club. And I was like, something tells me if I didn't have the mom or the resources that I have, like I wouldn't be here today.
So good. I love that. We've definitely learned how, your growth has positively impacted, the people around you, including your brother, including me. Um, what would you say that you feel most proud of now that we're graduating from this mastermind? And if you could sum up your experience in one sentence, what would it be? We'll close out from there.
But sum up my experience in one sentence for the same thing of what I'm most proud of, or no?
So you could share what you're most proud of now that we're graduating from Mastermind, now that you're graduating. And then you can close us out by summing up your experience in one sentence.
Sorry, I'm about to cry. Or maybe my eyes are just watering. Uh, I'm most proud. Well, I have two things I'm proud of. I'm proud of the fact that I know who I am and what I'm doing. And I'm proud of my website. That's probably like my most prized possession because like it has working buttons. I have a whole Google Calendar. I have 3 clubs on view. Everything is published. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of the mastermind and how much it's progressed. Thank you, Greg. And if I could sum up my experience in one word, just one, can it be like a phrase?
Yeah, it can be a sentence. It doesn't have to be
A
one word.
sentence. My experience here has been the most enlightening, amazing, and transformative time in my life, other than when I was born. You know.
I love it. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The beautiful, amazing Saida Nicholas. My one of my most prized possessions, my first and greatest creation so far. We'll see how Eman does, but she is doing amazing and making me so proud. I love you. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm going to
Yeah.
end the live now and we can chat offline with our audience members, but you did an awesome job. I'm so proud of you, and we'll see y'all on the flip side.
Bye.